Hello, everybody. Welcome here. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're not going to waste too much time. It's, everybody's busy. We got things to do. We'll go ahead and kind of just jump into this real quick and get started. The reason you guys are here is you've got some questions about the NAR lawsuit that's going on, how this could impact us as originators and what we should be thinking about and kind of the direction that things look like they're going to go here. And I think you're smart for being here. I mean, this is one of those moments in time where we should probably stop for a second and go, what are we going to do here? Like, what's happening? Maybe we should kind of take a look at this instead of just, ignoring it and then letting the freight train run over us. So if you're not familiar, I'm sure you all are. That's why you're here. But, there's this lawsuit that went down. The end of the day, the crux of it all is that the National Association of Realtors and MLSs and the large real estate franchises are being accused of, colluding to keep the cost of selling a home high. Part of that is because when a real estate agent takes a listing, they keep throwing around the 6% number, which I'm sure that still happens in a lot of areas, but 5-6%, whatever. This number typically often includes some commission for a buyer agent. And so, most of the time, like half of it or a good percentage of it. And so the argument that's being thrown around and where NAR lost is that, hey, man, this is excessive. And why in the world as a seller should I have to pay for a buyer commission? I mean, what's the point of, I hired you to list my house. I'm going to give you X commission. You sell my house. Right? Why do I got to provide money for some other agent when people can just come to you to buy my house? It doesn't make any sense. And, there's a lot of ways to argue it. And personally, I don't think, I think that the way that we've been doing business for years is just fine. I'm sure a lot of you do. I'm sure a lot of agents feel that way. Well, apparently a jury didn't feel that way. Right. And so the argument was made, evidently, quite overwhelmingly, to have a jury believe that, that is collusion and it's not fair. And y'all got to pay the price now. And, that's billions of dollars that's getting thrown around. And of course, NAR is going to appeal. Everybody knew that NAR would appeal. And, that's of course, that goes without saying. They're going to appeal. And, the real question is, can they win an appeal or not? We don't know. Of course, we don't know. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say, whether they do or not, things are going to change. The dynamic is changing. That's what's happening right before our eyes. The buyer agent dynamic and the current real estate commission structure is probably going to change. It's going to change, and not to beat this into the ground too much here. But I'll share my screen. I'll just show you an article that I found here today. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Share my screen. This is from Newsweek. This just came out a couple of days ago, right? And it's talking about how this could change the way people buy houses. And I'll just get right to the part that we're probably the most concerned with on this, and that is the implications that could arise from this. And this is the implications that Newsweek has here is what everybody's just kind of feeling and thinking. This is what could happen here, or this is kind of the flavor of what may transpire. Of course, nobody knows, but here it is. Sellers might gain more flexibility in determining agent compensations. Okay, true, right? Although they have that right now, they can certainly negotiate. But at any rate, they're saying this could change a little bit. Now, this is interesting. While there's potential for savings if they no longer fund the buyer's agent commission, right, which is kind of the angle that this is kind of going, it might deter agents from showcasing their properties. Of course, if an agent that's quote unquote representing a buyer isn't going to get a commission on a particular home or very little commission, it could sway that, although technically, ethically, and legally, that should not happen. But okay, let's give them that. The 6% commission could become a subject of more frequent negotiations or even face direct challenges, for sure. That's exactly what is happening right now. And we know that that will certainly happen if NAR does not prevail and this continues to become fully systemic to the entire country, which it will. They'll march across the country doing these lawsuits without question. Then it goes on to say, if the commission structure is modified, buyers may find themselves directly compensating their agents, which could mean a rise in immediate cost to the buyer, obviously. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think pretty fat chance that a buyer is going to say, sure, agent, I'll give you money to go find me the house. And if they do, it certainly isn't going to be, okay, buyer agent, you find me a house and I'll give you 2%. That ain't gonna happen. We all know that, right? So if they do, the buyer agent commission is more than likely going to be pretty nominal, right? It's not going to be very much money. Okay. On the other hand, if sellers no longer factor in commissions for buyer agents, home listing prices may reduce slightly. Okay, that's true. But here it is. On the other hand, if sellers no longer factor in commissions for buyer agents, this is the flavor of the implications of this. This is what I wanted to kind of point out here today. From the perspective of the seller's broker, as the model evolves, they may need to re-strategize pricing and services to stay ahead in the market. Meanwhile, here's the big one. Buyers brokers might struggle to demonstrate their value and securing their compensation, particularly if buyers start paying them directly. So this really kind of, in my opinion, illustrates what we have to kind of start thinking about. I just hope that as originators, we don't find ourselves, as we often do. And by the way, this January, I'll be in this industry for 36 years. I'm sure there's a lot of, raise a hand, who's been around as long as me? I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been around as long as me or pretty close to it, right? But I've been, I just hope that this isn't another example of, well, for example, we just came out of crazy low rates, 2s and 3s. And as we were going through these 2s and 3s and rates, there were several people, myself included, shouting at the top of our lungs to all of our loan originating compadres saying, this isn't gonna last. Something's going to change. Rates will go up. Start looking, to get back involved with your real estate partners. Start building those relationships back up. You were swept away by the tidal wave of refinances, but start connecting with your real estate partners. Start doing it. And I think a lot of originators knew that was true, right? They knew it was true. They knew that there was a freight train coming, fully knew it, and maybe kind of inside thought to themselves, I'll get to it. But then what always winds up happening most of the time is the freight train hits and they never got around to making a shift. And then they're left with their, mouths hanging open going, oh God, what am I going to do? Now I got to, I should have started working at this sooner. I think with this lawsuit and the way that things are going, look, listen, here's the truth. This could take NAR appeals, right? They appeal. When are they going to come back and take another swing at it? I don't know. It might be a year, might be 18 months. Who knows, right? Which is kind of to our advantage because the bottom line is we know that there's going to be a change. Things are going to change and it's going to impact the buyer agent. Really, that's what's going to happen. It'll impact the buyer agent. So while we've got this afforded opportunity of who knows how long it is, maybe 18 months, maybe 2 years, it's probably smart to start looking at things a different way, right? And start considering something. You are here also to learn about MoveTube. MoveTube is a product that we've been working on for many years. It's been around for 7. The one part of it, the TV channel of it has been. And just ironically, it's just happens to be just an amazing product to help with the current circumstances that we're looking at and the changes that are coming down the pipe. And so we're going to walk you through this and stick with us to the end and understand it and why it's so important, because this is one, guys, we are at that pivotal moment, a pivotal moment in time in the industry where we're literally given an opportunity to be able to act before the bomb explodes. We have a little bit of time to act. And so now is the time to act, right? So we don't get caught with our, with our pants down on this thing. So I'll show you something else here real quick, and then we'll bring in some other peeps. But I'll share my screen again, and I just want to kind of walk through our thinking on this and how this is going to help. Okay. So I'll start this slideshow here from the beginning. And we're going to talk about MoveTube real quick, but I think we need to have a new focus starting now as mortgage professionals. We certainly don't change what we're doing. What we're doing, the agents we're working with, we continue along that path. We're not here to say, stop that, do this. No, not at all. What we're here to say is there's an impending situation that's going to take place that is going to change the dynamic of the way that you wind up doing business and the agents that you wind up working with. Let's start working on that now. Let's start with a new focus and start really paying attention to the real estate agents out there that actually have some listings going on. And I bring up this point here just to illustrate why this is probably so important. And not only just because of the lawsuit, just in general, this is a good idea, right? Regardless of the lawsuit. Let's say it all blows over and goes away. This is still an area based on today's market conditions that you want to start to explore 100%. An example, if an agent has 10 listings right now that are active on the market, do any of those sellers wind up buying another home? That would be the rhetorical, ridiculous question. Of course they do, right? Well, let's look at the numbers and try and extrapolate what those numbers are. And now look, I'm doing my best to try and figure this stuff out by Google research and all that kind of stuff. Some of you super analytical brainiacs who are more in touch with this stuff may have some numbers that are slightly different than mine, but I'm betting I'm going to be pretty doggone close on these numbers. Best I could find recently, on the most recent stuff that I could find, first-time home buyers as of like June of 2023, from a couple of reports that I found, are about 26% of the current home buyers. These are people that need loans, right? That we would want to help as originators. Okay, about 26%. Believe it or not, cash buyers are at about 33% as of July of 2023. And these would be, I put repeat there, like these are, I believe that not all, of course, not all, but I think a good percentage, and I think you all would agree with me, a good percentage of cash buyers are probably repeat buyers. And, like we have Donnie on the call with us today. He's going to say some stuff here pretty quick, but like he's mentions, yeah, man, I'm in, South Carolina, and people, when they sell their house in New York, they come here and just pay cash, of course. Right. So I think that a good percentage of these 33% of cash buyers are probably repeat buyers, right? So they have enough equity to go buy another home cash. Well, that would mean, just by basic, extrapolation, if 26 are first timers and 33 are cash buyers, what's left over? It must be repeat buyers that need a mortgage of about 41%. Okay. So if we further extrapolate those numbers and we kind of go, okay, well, what does that mean? That means that the buyers that need a mortgage today, who are not cash buyers, right? 55% of them are repeat buyers or seller buyers. 26% are first-time home buyers. So that's kind of what that means. Buyers that need a mortgage. 55% are seller buyers. 26 are first-time home buyers. 55% is a big number, right? It's something that we shouldn't ignore. I know a lot of us as originators, we really do put a focus on, those of us who work with agents, we definitely put a focus on buy-side agents. We want to work with buyer agents. And I'm saying 100%. Absolutely. It would be ridiculously stupid of us not to work with them, but do understand that their role, their job is in jeopardy, or is at least in trouble of some dramatic changes coming up. So they're kind of in the wind a little bit here, but I'm not saying stop. Of course not. That would be ridiculous. We continue to work with them. But what I am saying is why don't we start to explore the seller buyers that are out there and start engaging with real estate agents who generally tend to carry listings, right, in their portfolio. So, and again, I would say that we all know this. We've all been doing this for a long time. The agents that have listings under their belt, if you've got an agent that's out there with, 7, 8, 10, 12 listings, that's typically going to be a seasoned, experienced agent. And what we can extrapolate is that if they have at least 10 listings, probably about half of them are probably going to be buying another house. And when they sell, and they're going to need a mortgage, And I would say this, let's say we've got 10 listings, 5 of them are going to buy another house and need a mortgage. I'm not saying we could get all of them, but I bet we get half of them if we could connect with them and do something. So how do we find this 55% of, sellers that are buying a house and need a mortgage? It's really, we have to focus on partnering. And I like the word partnering I used here. We need to partner with experienced agents that absolutely have listings. And the question that comes into play here is, what kind of value can I offer these agents, these experienced agents that have these deals? How can I help them? How can I even get their attention? And that's why we're here to show you MoveTube, man. This lawsuit really points us in this direction of looking at these real estate agents that we want to do business with who actually have listings, because at the end of the day, guys, they might be the only ones left standing, right? I'm not saying they will be, but I'm just saying there's changes on the horizon. And we do know that the agents that have longevity, experience, who have listings and get listings continually, those are the pros. They're going to be left standing for sure. No matter what, they're going to be left standing. And if we have buyers, that are coming directly to them, well, we certainly want to, build relationships with them. And also, man, if we have a way of engaging with them, building a relationship with them, and helping them with their listings, we can really kind of, I don't want to say wedge ourselves in there, but we can get ourselves involved with these real estate partners, these great partners, to where when they have listings coming up where the seller's going to need a mortgage, we can get that seller buyer referred over to us. We have to get in front of that. We have to be in front of it so that, when it's coming up, they know, aha, I got a listing coming up in 45 days. They're going to be buying another house. I'm going to connect Frank to him. Frank's been so helpful to me in helping me get more business and helping me get more listings. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is going to take a shift over to, we already, in the real estate community, and Donnie will attest to this, he who has the listings wins. It's always been that way in the real estate community, now even more so than ever, especially with this lawsuit looming and what the potential implications are based on everything we're reading, including the article I just showed you, right? These are the agents that we're going to want to start talking with and building relationships. And what MoveTube does is it allows a real estate agent to say to a prospective seller, hey, list with me and I'm going to get your home on TV. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to offer to a real estate agent. It's a very cool thing that a real estate agent can offer to a prospective seller. We have a real estate agent with us in the house right now, Donnie. Donnie, maybe you can kind of explain your experience. You're a MoveTube user. You're a fan. How has MoveTube as a real estate agent helped you, in your business? And would you agree with the stuff that I've said so far? And you can disagree. It's okay. 100%. But what are your thoughts?
I agree with everything. And there's nothing been so impactful in the marketplace today since 1994 with internet being introduced with listings. So we've been doing the same thing since 1994. Going out for a listing, it's no one's has anything impactful for a seller that's new. For the past 14 months, we've been beta testing MoveTube, and the intro is, what can I do different than any other agent in the marketplace? And the first thing we would do, my business partner and I would download MoveTube on their TV, sitting there, show them our current listings, and say, you'll be the next one on TV. There's nobody else that can do that or say that currently in the market. There's not a listing that we went for in the last 14 months that we lost as a result. Now, with the lawsuit, the focus is going to be even more on the listing agent, because we're going to see some more dual agency, I believe, because the buyer's going to go direct to the agent, which if you're on streaming TV, just another platform for the consumer to visit. And wouldn't you agree? I agree.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. So good. Yeah. You're in agreement with me on that. And And yeah, the channel is definitely being able to say, list with me, get your home on TV. It's just a really high value item to be able to deliver to a real estate agent. And Donnie is proof of it. He uses it on his listing presentations and wins them. And if you're going to try and build a relationship with an agent that has listings, there really isn't anything else out there. It's just, I'm just going to say this again. It's just the timing of this is ironic. The channel has been around for over 7 years, but we have been working on a product that can connect loan originators to the producing agents that have listings over the past 3 years. We literally just released this thing last week, and here this lawsuit is. And the lawsuit we're just looking at it going, oh my God, this product is like what we need right now as originators based on this lawsuit and the potential outcomes of what could occur. So Kevin, walk us through this product so people can kind of see it. Show us the TV, how it works, kind of what's inside, and, so we can kind of see how cool this thing really is. Can't hear you, bud.
Yeah, there we go. All right, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. 1 second here. All right, so yeah, guys. This has been around for about 7 years. We've really gotten strong consumer adoption, and we knew we had something with us because consumers like it. We tied it to agents, and we're seeing the results that we're getting. And by the way, I saw somebody commented like the agents never use anything I give them, but you got to give them something that they're going to value. And the cool thing is with this, they don't really have to use it. You're putting them on there and they get branded. So I'm going to show, this is a Roku right behind me here. I'm just going to show you how people are finding us. We do get asked that. If you do a general search in Roku, anything real estate related, you'll always see we're right here. We're typically right at the top. We probably average between 500 to 1,000 installs a week on this thing. So just in Roku alone. By the way, we're not just in Roku. We're also in Amazon Fire TV sticks and Apple TV and Google TV. So, but I will kind of quickly I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here because you guys can just go install MoveTube yourself and check it out later and kind of see what it is. But I will say this, the feedback from consumers has just been off the chain. People get addicted to this thing. We have MoveTubers, fans. People have told us that once they got used to this, they didn't want to go back to their phones and tablets. One lady's like, man, this is like Zillow meets Netflix, so it's basically a real estate search portal on TV. There's a whole history behind it. I won't get into all that, but you can get in here. You could actually, you got all your filters here, etc. But the first thing we found here was that feedback we started getting from agents in beta testing is like, this is winning me listings. Donnie, those guys are legit. They've been beta testers for how long you guys been beta testers now?
Just over a year. Oh yeah, just over a year.
Over a year. Okay. Yeah. So, we were getting their feedback. And then what we did was we loosely tied MoveTube to another product we had, and LO's, beta testing it, using it, and they're saying, man, this is moving the needle. My flyers, my reports, my all that other stuff, my rate plugs, not to mention anybody, but nothing is moving the needle like this because it's truly helping them win business. And as a consumer, it's cool. I'm a fan of it. I get on here. iHeartRadio loved it. They partnered with us on the audio side, so you can actually get in here. And I don't know if you've got my little jazz music playing right here. So what happens is once an agent is brought in and invited to the platform by the lender, and by the way, they have to be brought in by a lender. This is a lender-centric product. It's developed by lenders. I'm a former loan officer. Frank is a current loan officer. So that's who's backing this. But once they come in, they do get branded on here. We showcase their property. We do this little movie thing. We put them to the top. They get their own little screen like this, a pull out. We give them a digital business card. Hey, if you're on TV or if you're watching TV, you always have your phone, right? So a digital business card. If they want to reach out to Tracy Palmero, who's actually up there in Missouri, they can scan that. They can also send a text. They can send a message on the property and get that, get the information on the property to schedule a showing. We also have like the details right here. This is all details coming off the MLS. We got Tracy's branding here. We've got Mary Catherine, who I think's on this call today, with Hancock Mortgage. She's on here as well. And then we have the facts and features, all that good stuff. And we also have a map, which is really cool. I can zoom in, kind of see where this is at. And by the way, we're finding that brokers are putting this also in their offices, and loan officers too. You can have it play just your listings. Put your favorite music on, whatever you're into, it's there. Country music, jazz, rock and roll, it's all there. Got my loan officer tab right here if I want my financing options. So that's there's so many ways to use it. Another way to use this too is you can press a button, it'll play a slideshow, and it'll play it over and over again. And some agents are using that in their open houses. So you got the TV real big, you got the property playing in the background. It's a conversation starter. Frank had a really cool story. We won't get into that now, but if you're interested, really great experience. We actually put it on the homepage of under success stories. Rick and Donnie are on there too on studio.movetube.com. So that's the TV part of this. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time with that, but let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here.
And while you're scaring and Belinda, you don't have to spotlight me, but while you're sharing your screen, I just want everybody to understand that the channel itself that Kevin just showed you is on all the streaming devices: Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, Google TV. It's been in existence for over 7 years now, and it has accumulated a notable consumer audience. It already has a notable consumer audience, and not that this is going to be something where you're going to generate leads or anything like that from, but although it could happen, it does happen. But it's just the fact that this is an actual bona fide consumer portal on streaming television, the only one of its kind, is a very cool thing to present to real estate agents. Office meetings, lunch and learns. This becomes really a neat thing to talk about. So I just want to make sure everybody knew that the channel had some weight to it, Kevin, and has been around for a long time and is established as a bona fide consumer portal.
Most definitely. And the goal of this thing, we built strategies into this. This is all about creating relationships with those winning listing agents. And we got a tool in there to do that. We have a tool for you to farm those agents. This is an example of a flyer that we put in here: your listings and brand on TV. Are you leveraging the fast growing trend of streaming TV and to enhance your brand and win more listings? I did a presentation in Austin, Texas about 4 weeks ago for an LO down there. Filled the room. All of them wanted it, especially when we got into the TV, and then we got into the AI stuff that I'm getting ready to show you guys, like AI creating videos, getting them to the top of the Google rankings because of the videos, all that cool stuff. So, but let's get into the loan officer dashboard. So this is actually Mary Catherine. I did call her ahead of time and said, hey, I'm going to use your account. We're just kind of moving her over a little bit, but she's actually in the St. Louis market. I can get in here and set where I'm lending, where I'm kind of focusing on, where I'm going to be farming the agents I want to work with. Right now she's got 1,182 agents that currently have listings on MoveTube, but they're not branded. They're not getting the full benefit of MoveTube. They don't have the AI tools, everything we got in here, and their homes aren't showcased, and they're not getting that credit that they should be getting from their seller. Then she has almost 2,000 agents in her market, just in these areas that I've mentioned up here that I've got notated, that their listings aren't on MoveTube at all. So it's like, your listings aren't there at all, but work with me. We'll get them on there, and we can get them on there. It's not a problem. So I can go in here and see, I can look for unbranded agents if I want to kind of just start searching agents in my market. And she's in Festus, Missouri, St. Louis. I can get in here and do, how many have, I can do like price. And the thing is, I know a lot of people get hung up on, they want to see buy sides. They want to see their history. We want to see what they're doing right now. Okay. So I can get in here and just click agents and just kind of see, like, okay, I'm just randomly grabbing somebody. Okay. This person looks like they work with builders. I don't know. Every market's different. When I did loans in Austin, I stayed away from the builders just because they were always stealing my business, trying to steal all my bars away. That may not be the case everywhere, but here's somebody else, and I can click on them and just kind of see what type of listings they have. And if this is somebody I'd want to reach out to. So let's say, hey, Janie, found your properties, found one of your properties on Roku. It was really awesome. But you're not branded on there. You're not getting the full benefit of it. We've got a whole system built around it. You can win more listings, but do you want to learn how you can leverage streaming TV, AI, and video to win more listings and enhance your brand? They never say no. And the thing is, they're not hearing that from anybody else. You start running out, I've got a report, I've got this, I've got that, I got flyers. Yeah, okay, I've got that too. Okay. she's going to say, yeah, Remax gives us all that stuff. Remax doesn't have a TV channel. I tell you that they don't. So it is helping agents win, or loan officers win those relationships. We've been seeing that. The results we're getting from that Donnie and Rick are having out there in Hilton Head, South Carolina, are pretty typical. It's what they're, and the thing is, even if your agents, I'm going to show you the tools that this thing does, but even if your agents aren't using it, so to speak, they're getting the benefit. We've got a little flyer right here for them that they can bring in their listing presentations. List with me and get your listing on TV. They don't really have to use it. They don't have to be logging in and using all these other tools. They're missing out if they're not, but they're still getting that benefit. And by the way, every time one of their new listings comes in, we've got a call to action for you, the loan officer, to hit them up. You know, hey, congratulations on that listing. It's now on TV. Let your sellers know. Like, you know, we've got a whole strategy about reaching out to the sellers. When I did loans, I got so much business from sellers because I did property marketing. It's what I did. But let's just go ahead and log in. I'm just going to go, actually right before this thing, I went and just generated a couple things on one of Tracy's listings in St. Louis. One of the really cool things we're doing that's totally unique to us is the listing trailer. We're using AI to generate, we've created AI characters, and we're actually using AI to read the property description, read the area data, everything on the property, and then create a nice little teaser, a 30-second video that we're actually publishing to YouTube. And then we're doing some other cool stuff with it, but I'll go ahead and play it real quick. It's about 30 seconds, and you'll hear the quality of this, the audio.
Experience living in luxurious comfort at this spacious St. Louis home. Enjoy 24 elegantly renovated rooms that are move-in ready, including 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs and 7 baths throughout. The kitchen is made for any cook, with high-end appliances, quartz countertops, and 2 pantries. Reach out to Tracy Palmero at 314-803-6245 to schedule a showing.
Okay, so what we're doing is once that's generated, we are putting it on our it actually goes on YouTube as a short. And it's going on our YouTube channel. We're doing that. And what we're finding is the majority of these within 24 hours are going to the top of the Google searches for that property. And that's pretty cool. It's very important too. This one, we literally just put it on like an hour ago. So that's probably not. I actually went into one we did on the demo last week, and this is in Kyle, Texas. It's already under videos. It's #1. If you just do a general search for that address, it's, where are we at today? It's right here. So I open that up, and you can kind of see, like, you know, it's the same kind of.
Experience the joy of living in a home.
And that's it. And we are getting the rankings. What we're also doing too is we're putting them on the property landing page. By the way, property websites are history. Single property websites are history, because we're actually sending them to MoveTube, the landing page, and then we're doing something called cookie branding. So just for an example, I put the listing trailer here. So again, this is the one I just showed you guys, but as I'm here,
experience living in luxurious,
you know, I'm sitting there looking around the property. I've got a nice little narration going on.
Elegantly renovated.
Okay, so, but again, we're doing this thing called cookie branding. So one thing you can do in MoveTube is you can actually go in, and we've got like these social media sharing tools for the properties. So I just posted one on my Facebook right here. Oh, it's going to update. Hold on a second. It's not some of my personal Facebook stuff. There it is right here. All right, so like this is one, we have several of these, like featured on TV. So if I click it and open it up, I can see the property. But what's cool about this is it's like, okay, cool. Like, you know, a property website, if you send them there, they're just on that property, right? But if I go somewhere else, like, let's just say I want to go see what this property is all about. Okay, well, guess what? Oh, Tracy's branded on that one too, and so is Mary Catherine. And if I've referred anybody there from using my share link, it's going to do this on every listing. And if somebody wants to contact agent, guess who's getting that lead? It's going to Tracy, and it's going to the loan officer. Okay, so that we call that cookie branding. Also, if I go into the marketing suite of this property, let me back up here. You already saw how I posted this on Facebook. It has a AI actually writes out. You can see it's doing it right there. It's writing out a caption. So just like it did that narration of the video, it's doing a narration that I'm going to use when I post on social media. Okay. And then, you know, of course, they do love their flyers. And obviously this thing is so much more robust than flyers, but it does have some really, really cool flyers that we built kind of a AI stuff into it. This is just an example. They can brand these flyers however they want, the different colors. They're all text capture, scan that. One unique thing about our flyers is if you've used other products that talk about local data, what's around the property. Ours is actually specific. It'll tell you where Starbucks at. It's like, it'll tell you, like, you can actually, and you can choose that. You can choose which places are closer. We have strategies on that. Sellers want their favorite restaurants on there. Well, guess what? That's an opportunity for an LO to engage with that seller. You know, that's one strategy that we've played around with. So that's our flyers in this thing. Again, this isn't a flyer product. It's not a social media graphic product. It is video, AI, and TV. That's what's really moving the needle with everything. But we do have all those tools built in. Another really cool thing that we built into this is Open House AI Assistant. And so on our open house flyer, we have a different code. So when somebody walks into the property, they can be welcomed into the property. Like, hey, this property is featured. By the way, this property is featured on television. And we also have a nice little intro video of this property that you can view before you start walking around. So all I need you to do is just register right here. Just send that text to that, scan that code and send. And then it's going to ask you your name. You put in your name. The person's going to put in their name, Kevin Bilberry. They're going to hit send. And then what the AI is going to do, it's going to send them a text message with a link to open up this page right here that I showed you guys to play that little listing trailer. And also this video here of how to install MoveTube on all their TV devices when they get home.
Hi, I'm Christy with MoveTube. In this video, I'm going
and Frank had a really good experience with that a couple weeks. Was it last week? A couple weeks ago you had Frank, where they went on a listing appointment with his wife and they showed him the whole TV thing. And it was just so cool. And the guy was all into it. But and then on open houses, yeah, this property's featured on TV. You can take this home and see this property on your TV. And then search other listings. So it's definitely a win thing. We built into this digital business cards, a bunch of things. Guys, this has been in production we've been working on this for 3 years. We started with the whole TV thing. We knew we had something in that. What we're doing now is launching this just now to the lending industry. We're getting loan officers on board to just be the backbone of this thing. It is free to agents. We don't charge agents. They're bringing the value of their listings. Agents pay a lot of money to get listings and to win listings, and we want to help them win more listings. And so they're giving us the canvas and the content to bring more consumer eyeballs to MoveTube. And then you guys are the paid advertisers. You're the ones that are the paid advertisers, so to speak. So from a RESPA standpoint, you're not buying this on behalf of agents. You're not giving them things that they can buy themselves. We are giving them the free account, but they do agree that they have to be tied to, they have to agree to allow us to put ads on their listings and all their marketing things. And that's where you guys come in. But we've got strategies all based on this thing. It's fun. This is a fun product. Frank's having a ball with it. I wish I had this when I was a loan officer, man, because to me, loans are boring. I hated talking about loans. I always needed something fun and cool to talk about. And when I'd go out and meet with agents, and this checks all those boxes. So you guys, we're going to do a special today. So right now, it's our normal price on this is $197 a month. You get 50 agents. Anybody that signs up today, we're going to upgrade that to 100. So we just want to start getting loan officers in there. This is actually on our second little webinar on this. This is the most we've ever presented it. So if you get in now, you're going to be one of the first ones to the market with this with your local agents. And once they're with you, right? You bring them in and they're tied to you. So if you go to MoveTube.com, I think Frank will put it in the chat. It's studio.movetube.com. Or if you go to MoveTube.com, you'll see on the front, there's a link where you can click it and you'll see that there's a link for loan officers agents for Studio. And you can sign up there and we will upgrade you. And if you signed up last week, we're going to honor that too. So if anybody's here that was last week, but we're just going to do that today. And by the way, yeah, it's not unlimited agent just because there's so much going on. It costs us, it's a lot of, there's a lot of moving parts here, producing these videos, getting the AI out stuff, but you guys will win with this thing. We know it. I'm passionate about this TV stuff. When we started this, Roku wasn't a thing. but it's just that trend of streaming TV and AI is just continuing to grow. And we're going to keep, we get lender adoption here. This is going to be our portal, the loan officer portal. And we're excited to launch this. We're so excited to get this to the community. So Frank, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah. Why don't you do me a favor? Just go exit impersonation from the realtor to go back to Mary Catherine's dashboard. Okay. And then what I want to show you guys is listen, because I'm seeing it in the chat, and I don't want you guys to get confused on this at all. But in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see coaching videos down there. Mm-hmm. And what that's going to show you is how to actually make money with this. So if I can share my screen, Kevin, can I come back and share my screen? Yeah, is that okay? Yep. All right. So we'll go ahead and I'll share my screen. So at the end of the day, what's in it for you, right, guys? I mean, how are you going to be able to make money with this thing? And what I'm seeing in the chat a little bit, Kevin, is people saying, it's nice, but I don't think buyers are going to go there. And I don't think we're going to change buyer behavior. I'm so sorry, but I'm just apologize if we didn't convey it properly, but you've completely missed the mark on this thing for you. Okay. Like completely lost it. Not even in the right world. If you're thinking is that in that arena, what you need to understand is this: there is a channel. It exists. There are hundreds of thousands of consumers on it already. We don't have to change any behaviors. None of that matters at all. People are going to find it who find it. The people who are there love it. That's the way it is. This is a value item to your real estate partners because they get to go on a listing presentation and say, list with me and I'll get your home on TV. That's what they want. Because if they're on a listing presentation and there's a couple of other agents that are going to pitch that same potential seller, and if let's say there's three of them and everything else across the board is equal, but one of them has a flyer in their listing presentation folder that says, list with me, I'm going to get your home on TV. Who's going to win that listing? The person who gets them on TV. That's what this is about. This is about you bringing something of genuine, honest to God value to a real estate agent that will honest to God get them new listings if they're competing for it. That's what this is about. Perception is reality. When a consumer sees the TV thing, even if they don't engage with it, they're still going to go, that's cool. Yeah, I want my there. So get out of the mindset of changing consumers' behavior. You're in the wrong arena. Okay. So what this is for you to build relationships with. First of all, this is for you to provide honest to God value to a real estate agent. They all will appreciate it. They're all going to love it. Trust me on that. We do this every single day. But also, this is for you to build a relationship with them so you can get warm referrals from them. That's what this is about. What warm referral? The warm referral you're going to get from them is the sellers who are going to be listing their home in 45 days, who need to buy another home and need a mortgage. You're going to be able to get that referral because you're going to help them out. There's 4 ways with MoveTube that you can make money. And this is in the coaching video in the system in a lot more detail. I'm going to briefly go through this very quickly, just about 5 minutes, but understand it's in the system. It's 27 minutes long. You watch that and you're going to go, the lights have turned on. I totally get it. Yes, this is going to make me money. Yes, this is going to get me connected to agents that actually have business, producing agents. I want to do that. You're still going to work what you're working. You're not going to change anything, but you're going to add this and greatly improve it. The first way that you're going to get business from agents in MoveTube is on the new listing call. Every time a new listing comes in for one of your agents, and trust me, if you're working with agents that continually have about 10, 12 listings at any given time, they're continually getting new listings. You'll probably get 1 or 2 a month from them. All right. You'll get a new listing email. When that email comes through, you make a quick phone call. This is about engaging with agents. This isn't a lead machine. This is a relationship machine. This is a referral machine, not a lead machine. To get a referral requires a relationship. End of story. Those of you who've been in the business long enough know that to be a fact, right? That's what this is about. Okay. When that new listing comes in and you're notified, you call the agent, say, congratulations. How'd you get it? They're going to tell you. Then you immediately say, can I help the seller? By this point, you probably can if it's already listed. They'll probably say no. But then you get to say, if you have any listings coming up that'll need a loan, or the seller will need a loan, can I count on you to send that one my way? They're going to say yeah. And you're going to be able to do this on every new listing that comes in on every one of your agents. You're going to be able to get up to 100 agents in your account. I can guarantee if you get 40, 50 agents and they're all averaging 10 listings a month, I don't know if Kevin showed you the dashboard where you could actually see how you can actually look in your area and see the agents that are there that you could call on right now and what listings they actually have right now, right? You have this conversation with them every single time. They're going to start to understand, oh, Frank's looking for those guys. This actually works. It's happening for me right now. So you're going to make that number 2 point. Number 3, just, hey, I'm going to make the listing trailer video for you. Do you need a flyer? Don't forget, if you're doing an open house, use the open house flyer to get digital registration. Before I let you go, any buyer approvals I can help you with this week? That call every time you get a new listing, as long as you're not a fraidy cat loan officer, if you're a loan officer that likes having realtor relationships with producing agents and likes to build relationships, this is a wonderful call. A congratulatory call on their new listing, trust me, that can only go the only way that can go is good. Secondly, what I do, and this is in the coaching video, is every week I go through my MoveTube account. I go into each of my agents' accounts and I look at what listings they have that are active. And I share them for them. I'll share them to my LinkedIn or to Facebook groups, right? I share them other places. I teach you everywhere you can share it in the coaching video. I won't get into that. But then I call them. And I say, hey, I just want to let you know, man, I shared 121 Main Street for you to my personal LinkedIn account. It's got a big audience of professionals and consumers. You never know. Just my way of trying to help you sell the house, okay? And they're going to go, wow, thank you so much for being on the team and helping me out. And I go, no problem. Hey, don't forget, if you have any sellers coming up that are going to need a mortgage, man, can I count on you to send them my way? You bet your butt you will. I will, Frank. Terrific. Also, if you get any direct inquiries from your listings, man, I'd love to be the first one in line to try and pre-approve them. Okay, that's what we're doing here. Don't worry about changing buyer behaviors. You're in a different world. Get into this world, helping these agents that have business so that they can refer this warm business to you. You always ask the question, don't forget, right? Pending listing call. If you see listings go pending, you can have that call as well. Congratulations, it went pending. Remember, if something goes sideways, think of me. I could probably save the deal. Before I let you go, any sellers coming up that I might be able to help? Right? Finally, property inquiries, SMS, open house leads. Open house leads are a little different animal. Those are the leads that in the system that are bona fide leads. If you can train, I hate that word. If you show the real estate agents that you're working with how vitally important the open house flyer is, because it's digital registration. It's a real phone number that you're going to get and a real name, which, by the way, zaps into your CRM. Those inquiries or those leads, they're worth following up on. They're out in an open house. And by the way, this means you can have agents all around town holding open houses with your open house flyers, getting digital registrations that are all coming into your MoveTube account where you're not even at those open houses. Okay, that's how this works. All right, those leads are awesome. But sometimes you will get SMS leads in. Sometimes you'll get property inquiry leads in, especially if you're sharing the listings weekly for them and helping them out. If you do that, when you get those leads in, it's an opportunity to call. Hey, did you see the lead come in on Main Street? I did. You going to call? I will. I'm going to call too. We'll see what we can get done. Great. Thanks. Before I let you go, don't forget, if you have any sellers coming up that need a mortgage, man, I would love to work with them. Or if you have any buyer pre-approvals need help with, okay? Okay. That's how you do it. That's what's going on here. And I guess on the next one, I really want to kind of open it up with that a little bit more. Just have everybody understand, loan officers here understand, don't worry about who's on the channel. They're there. Trust us, they're there. They find themselves there. And when they get there, they love it. There's hundreds of thousands of them there already. And it goes up, like Kevin said, probably about 1,000 a week, 500 to 1,000 a week on Roku alone, let alone, the other channels. So that's happening. That's not your concern. Your concern is just providing a kick-ass value item to real estate agents that like listings, that want to win more listings. This thing kills. Donnie shared that. He's an actual active agent, hasn't lost a listing since he started using it. Okay. That's real value, honest to God value. And let me tell you something. When you're calling a real estate agent, you want to get to know them, start doing business with them. I mean, there's just nothing cooler that you could say right now than, hey man, have you seen this thing where your listings get on TV branded to you? It is sick. You ever heard of Roku, Amazon, Apple TV? Yeah, of course. Oh my God. You got to see this thing. Let me swing by and show it to you. Let me jump on a Zoom, show it to you. All right. It's so cool. And in that little coaching video, guys, I got all the scripts, everything. You just follow my little coaching video. You'll do great. You'll do great. I'm not saying to stop working with buyer agents. I'm just saying the dynamic is changing. Now is the time to get in front of this thing, right? Start working these agents. By the way, right now, these agents that have these listings could probably provide you another couple deals a month, like right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Okay. So that's it. Yeah. We put it in the chat, studio.movetube.com. Just go there and you sign up today. You know, we'll give you the 100 agents for $197 instead of 50. If you were here yesterday, we'll honor that. Just hit us up in the chat, or last week. I'm sorry. Just get started with this thing, guys. By the way, I'm originating again. This product is the most fun I've had in this business in a long time. It is fun. When I call them on Mondays and Tuesdays and go, hey, man, I just want you know I'm sharing your listing on Main Street to wherever, and you'll learn more about that in that coaching video. The response is just like, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. You're welcome. My pleasure. Glad to be on the team. It just changes the dynamic, the relationship dynamic completely. It's completely different. It's just completely different. I am getting referrals from agents right now of sellers that are coming up, right? They're coming up. It's pretty rare that you take a listing. It might happen. Donnie could attest to this, I'm sure. But most of the time when you're going to get a listing, it's coming up, right, Donnie? Like, it's good. Yeah. Okay. They want to sell their house, but they got to clean it up. We got to get this done. We got to get that done. And so, you know, next month we're going to list it. You know, it's more, isn't it? Isn't that right, Donnie?
It is. I mean, we definitely speak to sellers, prepare for the move, declutter, maybe look at items that may come up on the inspection ahead of time. So the preparation for the listing doesn't start the moment you walk in the door. It probably started 30 to 40 days earlier.
Exactly. And so when you find someone that you're going to take that listing in 30 to 40 days, and you know they're going to be buying another house with the proceeds and they need a mortgage, that's the time, guys, for us to be talking to agents like Donnie and saying, hey, do you know somebody coming up? And then go, oh, matter of fact, I got a seller coming up. Why don't I connect you? You've done that, haven't you, Donnie?
I do. In fact, I'd take it a step further and find out where they're moving to and gather some information. It also helps. Again, our job is to help orchestrate the move, not just sell the house. We get involved.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. That's all I got to say. I mean, this is a killer product. It's super fun. For those of you that might be mortgage marketing animal peeps like me, oh my goodness, you just apply this to the DSP. That's all you do, to the daily success plan. It's just another group of agents that you engage with the DSP with in a little bit different way. And when you go through I hate to call it a coaching video, it's more of a training video on how to get business out of this. When you go through that, you go, okay, just a little different scripting here or there for these particular agents, but it's the same sort of process, the same sort of thing. You'll kill with this thing.
Experience the epitome of modern Austin living. This luxurious property combines elegance and functionality with generous bedrooms and abundant natural light. A top-of-the-line kitchen creates the